Okay, there we go. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing? How is your Tuesday? Tuesday. Um, Hopefully you didn't get as terrible weather as I did. Um, yeah, it's just been like sleeting and snowing and terrible since I don't know, about 10 o'clock this morning. And it's just been really gnarly ever since then. But it's a perfect night to hunker down, listen to some non copyright music. Good lord. Last video got flagged like a million times. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I hope everybody had a lovely Tuesday. Mine was fine. Patriots beat that ass last night, so that was a nice little treat on a Monday. But yeah, I think I mentioned it last week. I'm gonna start every stream just by drawing a few of these weird faces, just to sort of warm up. I was drawing at work today. It was kind of dead. Not as much as I probably could have drawn, but it was just, I don't know. The weather definitely contributed to why work was viciously dead. And shout outs to the guys who work at like UPS and FedEx and shit for going to work today. I appreciate y'all. I know that job's miserable and thankless. So shout out to you guys. But I did have a couple, topics to just kind of yammer about tonight. Last week I sort of discussed saying no to yourself and how that can kind of, it's hard sometimes, but sometimes it's for the best. In my case, it's just me taking on too many projects at once. And I've been known to do that. I get really excited about new stuff. But I'm always a lot happier when I get reinvigorated doing old things like this, for instance. I did the art streaming for, I don't know. I'll have to double check, but it was probably close to almost like at least a year straight. Of course, it was over on Kick, which is now, is that still a thing? Is Kick a thing? I don't know. I've been out of streaming for a while. I refuse to go to Twitch because one, as a smaller streamer, your discoverability on Twitch is practically zero. And also it's an Amazon product, so I'm just sort of tired of them. I live in an area where they're buying up fucking plots of land like crazy just to build more shitty distribution centers and then hire and fire everybody in the area. And yeah, it's awesome. I'm lucky I have a cool job with a cool boss and cool coworkers, and get to find time during my work day to doodle and not, feel like I'm completely like breaking the law or something, which is a good feeling. But yeah, I did have a few topics to discuss tonight. I guess we'll start in the more sort of profound realm. Also, I do apologize. My furnace is gonna just kick on and off. It's just that time of year. I'm pretty sure it's like 17 outside right now. It's warmer than that, but not by much. And I'm also doing laundry, so gotta find time to do it. I'm not gonna have smelly clothes just because I'm too tired to do it after work. Okay, yeah, sorry. Just really kind of zoning in and out here. Um, but yeah, so I guess, like, other than that, so I guess we'll dive into the first topic, which is, like, why do, why do we persist in making stuff, um, in seemingly a time where art is more devalued than it's ever been? And I don't want to get into a tirade about AI. I'm pretty sure I've made my thoughts on AI sort of clear. I'm not alone in saying I'm fucking tired of it, and it's not even just art at this point. It's everything is AI, and it's just but anywho, uh, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, it sort of just feels like I have to. I made a video here on YouTube about it, and it's entitled "Why I Create," and basically it does boil down to just me having to make stuff. Cause I think if I don't, I would just like redo the Killdozer. um, And hey, it's not like I didn't warn anyone. I've made it clear here, so now there's at least evidence on record. No one can say we didn't see this coming. The few people in here can be like, well, dude, he said it on camera, like we saw this shit. But I don't know. It's just it's rough out there, and I feel like every time someone makes a video like this, it starts with the words "It's rough out there," but it's actually rough out there, and I don't want to get into any sort of political tirade or anything. I have my views of other people's views, and that's about the long and short of it. And I don't want to also just place the blame solely on, those bastards up in Washington. They're annoying, but they're not to blame for every annoying thing. They're a good chunk of it though. And again, with art sort of being devalued as much as it can be, artists losing their jobs to a box, it's demoralizing. I wanted to get into animation. I went to school for game design for a little while, and I never finished school. It didn't seem worth it. I also didn't really I didn't really rock with school as much as I was sort of hoping I would. Because it was one of those things where I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to go to school for what I want, and it's going to be sick. And then even going to like a for-profit college, like I'm a Full Sail survivor. I bailed out of Full Sail. I went through the whole rigmarole of enrollment, and I got I was doing the online classes for game design and this and that, and I remember the first assignment I had was something along the lines of like watch a TED talk and then like sell them on why it was an inspiring TED talk or some shit. And I remember I did that. I watched it was some TED talk about who cares. And I remember it was way too long. It was exceptionally boring, and I had to write about it, which was even harder because writing about boring shit is brutal. And I just, it's hard out there, pimps. But I think, I mean, like, obviously you can do the whole art as a form of, you know, political expression and all this other schwa. I just like drawing my dumb faces because I can just sort of like shut my mind off. It's one of the few things that genuinely feels like meditative for me, creating. And it's not even just drawing. It's making all sorts of things. I'm thinking, not tonight, because I'm going to do this for a little bit, and then I have something I kind of want to sketch out. I have an idea. I'm going to start, I'll explain later, but for now I just want to do this. But also, I just have like a million things I want to do. My brain just like fires off like at 50 rounds a minute. And, you know, some ideas are good, some of them are profoundly stupid, and that's just part of creating. But what I was going to say is I was thinking I'm going to do it next week, but I'm going to make some pocket sketchbooks on stream. And then I don't know, maybe I'll give them away. If I'm feeling saucy, I'll mail them out to people. I think I got some stamps kicking around here. It's crazy loud down here. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing what I can. Yeah, alright, so I'm just going to do maybe like one or two more of these weird faces, and then we'll move on to the next thing. But in terms of, you know, creating again, I think, and this is kind of piggybacking off of, I said a lot of the same stuff last week, but I don't know, it's one of those things where you're fully in control of it. Should you choose to collaborate with people, you can. It's not a requirement. And I don't... This is something I've been hearing that's been driving me actively insane, which is that... what's the thing? Is AI... Oh, yeah. Democratizes art. That is profoundly one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. As if like we're out here fucking gatekeeping drawing. Hi. So here's what you need to get into drawing. Are you ready? This is it. You don't need a fucking iPad. You don't need a drawing tablet. Let's stop acting like artists and shit, or we're out here, you know, well, I was born this way. I was born being able to draw the things and use my imagination the way I'm at. No, I'm not. I was not at all. I spent so many nights just sitting either down here in my studio or just in my room when I was younger, just drawing and just doodling and just doing creative things. So like, now that we're older and able to kind of showcase that shit, people aren't allowed to just be like, well, I'm mad that you can do that and I can't. Like, great, dude, sorry. While you were out doing other things, this is what I was doing. So there's shit that y'all are good at that I'm not going to be good at, and vice versa. And that's how it should be. Also with this, I think I'm gonna start with like some bigger faces, and then I want to actually try to fill in like most, if not all, of the empty space with these little faces. And then what I was thinking is I will upload like a high resolution version of this, and people can use it as a phone wallpaper, because I think that's what I'm gonna do with it. Just because it's gonna be really weird. Just don't show my wife, because she's really weird about dots, and there's a whole bunch already. Sorry, babe. But in terms of creating again, it's one of those things that it's just become such a part of who I am. At first, it sounds weird and kind of like corny to say it, but it's who I am. It's what I like to do. It's not consider. What's the shit I'm looking for? Anyway, and I'm also done with the whole calling myself a fucking creator thing. I'm not a creator, all right? If you're a creator, you work at HR for like a corporation, and you make PowerPoints and you know, sexual harassment slides. Like, you're a creator. Like, this is art. What people do in terms of like talent and making and stuff, that's all art as far as I am concerned. So shout out to you guys. I'm not gonna let some stupid computer that not only that, dude, like the people who are into AI, it can't be a coincidence that the people that are into AI are simultaneously the biggest fucking losers on the planet. Like, it can't, it makes no sense. And if my boss is watching this, dude, I'm sorry. I just, like, a straight up AI bro is just like, I know it's just a modern version of some other thing I've probably complained about in the past, but man, like, what is AI making better? Like, I want people to answer me, other than just like, well, it make Google faster. Like, no, it doesn't. You're just too fucking dumb and lazy to look stuff up yourself. Like, oh, well, ChatGPT make, like, nope, it's just a computer that you're able to steer after a while. So let's try that again. Like, AI has not, other than the people that it's made fucking gallons and gallons of money for, what is AI made better? It's made advertising lamer somehow, lazier. It's made every social media website, including this one, worse. YouTube has become way worse because of AI. All these paint explainer ripoffs, all this, like, dude, if you downloaded Suno, you need to be fucking studied. How, like, oh my god. I hate being the guy like, well, I went viral on TikTok and I know what I'm talking about. And also, you guys tell me if I'm talking too loud. My mic seems to be peaking a little bit, but that's just because I'm getting animated. But, like, I went viral on TikTok. I did the whole TikTok thing. And it, like, being on there with people is annoying. I can't imagine the type of people that rocked with that app. Like, I want to, again, you guys need to be studied, but you need to be studied like fish in an aquarium or something, or like an animal that has just been like recently sedated, and it's like for an anthropological study, because I want to see if I could just like jingle some fucking keys in your face or something. It's brutal knowing so many people out there downloaded an app that is just AI ass and mounds of it, and people are like, this is so awesome. It's okay. I said I wasn't gonna go on an AI tirade, and we have already done a complete 180 on that. So, in short, those are my thoughts on AI, okay? Right about there. There we go. That's about it. And I'm going to do my best to not bring it up anymore. But I would say that just in terms of why I create, like, yes, I made the video, and yeah, I have to. And like, what does that mean, I guess? And it's just, it's, I say it in the video too, it's like an actual sort of like feeling. It's like it's like right here, in like, right at my sternum, basically. And it's just sort of like this feeling, this sort of like craving. Oh, alright. Hold on 1 second, guys. I need my fucking cat's in the trash. Alright, anyway. I have no idea where I was, and there's very much something in my eye. But yeah, so in terms of just making stuff, like I said, it's a feeling, and it just like actually won't go away until I make something. My problem though is that once I'm like in on something, it's hard for me to put it down. I do struggle with not like perfectionism. I'm fine with things sucking as I delete it. I'm fine with things sucking. Especially, I mean, I guess to illustrate that is I draw. This is the only time I really draw digitally. I haven't done anything else in Procreate since last week when I was streaming. Not true? Let's see. Let's check the gallery. It was one thing. What was it? Oh, yeah. So I needed these for some cover art for a pocket sketchbook for my buddy. And then this is something I'm going to explain later. But that will be something that's getting used at some point. Maybe not later tonight. Because, again, we'll get into it. But I guess we can kind of jump from why I create into my goals for next year and sort of like what I want to create. And I also want to hear, you know, other people's creative goals and stuff for the year. And, you know, maybe this is the year I finally collaborate with somebody. You know? Good Lord. I've been saying it forever that I'm gonna do something. And there are some things that I'm not gonna say like are in the works, because they're not. They're just like, they're pots on the stove, and they're sort of rolling to a boil. They're not quite there yet, but they're on their way. Um, just some more, like I said, collaborative things. Because I don't know if I mentioned it last week. I am selling my Xbox, and then I'm gonna be selling my current PC to upgrade. So quality of the stream might dip, provided there's like an in-between time between current computer and new one. But that's for a later date. I'm not worried about that right now. Just definitely want to like upgrade the setup, be able to shoot some better video. We'll see what happens. But in terms of the year, I've got a little post-it note on my board. I have like a whiteboard. You've probably seen it in my videos if you've ever watched them. It's the one that's always got some like snarky sort of comment on it. And it's got basically the same things on it that it always has, which I'm happy and sort of annoyed at, because I do have trouble sort of staying on task. And I'm glad that I'm still sort of doing these things, but I'm annoyed that I have to keep like starting from zero, because I just completely stop. I have like these goals, these plans, and this all harkens back to what I was saying last week about being able to say no to myself. It's gotten to the point where now I'm like, if I don't say no, it's like actually like sort of detrimental, because then I get so viciously distracted from like the thing that I wanted by the new thing. And then when I snap back to reality, oh, there goes gravity, it's like, it's impossible for me to jump back in, because I'm so, like, luckily with drawing, it's kind of like riding a bike, especially since it takes so long to, like, learn anything with this hobby, that by the time you sort of get a grasp on something, it's really in there. Like, you had to work to get that in there. And luckily, yeah, like I said, drawing is one of those things that comes back, but it also, you have to sort of you got to turn the pilot light back on, and keeping that pilot light lit is incredibly difficult for me. And I am undiagnosed, and I am not a fan of the self-diagnosis movement that's sort of taken over. It's weird, and do you? I just, you're not. If you're not a doctor, don't just like, well, I have this. Like, okay, you might have that. You read something online, like. Congratulations. That's like me reading a defensive playbook and then calling myself defensive coordinator for the New England Patriots. Like, that's not... Anywho. But I definitely want to keep and focus on this pilot light this time. And I think this time it just sort of feels different. I've never been like, you know what, let's sell the old Xbox. and just like focus on art and streaming and like building a community instead of just playing shit. Like, I have my sister's old Nintendo Switch. I don't even know how old the shit is, honestly. It's the Switch Lite. The thing is ancient. But I don't know. If I want to play video games, I'll play on that. That new PC I'm hoping to get my hands on. Fucking... That's another reason I want to get the computer I'm getting, is it's an upgrade. It'll make it easier to do editing. It'll be just a complete fresh start. But also it's going to be substantially smaller than this fucking hunk of shit that I have. It's not a bad computer. It's just, this thing is enormous. Like, I remember it almost didn't fit in my car type shit, which is just absurd to think about. But I'm glad that I'm able to focus more on this and enjoy it more. Because before, I wasn't treating this as a hobby. I was treating this as it has to work. I need to do this, and if it doesn't work, I'm a complete F word. I'm a complete fuck up, and it one, what, and two, hey, laundry's done. I'm glad that I'm able to just reel this in and enjoy it for the relaxing. And I mean, it's still going to be stressful at times because I do like to challenge myself when it comes to drawing. But I also like to just run back to these things, these stupid faces, and just, do the weird stuff. This one's gonna be real strange. Sounds like something weird's going on over there. It's like a strange, weird little tapping or scraping sort of noise. Anywho. But yeah, so we'll do this last little guy, and then we'll move on to the next one. But yeah, I guess so I'll start going into more of just like, I'll start listing off my creative goals for the years, which number one is just really focus on drawing. And not for any specific thing. I want to just draw whatever I feel like drawing, not label myself as, any sort of like, oh, I draw horror, I draw this, I draw that. Like, the only thing I want is to just be okay with what I'm putting out. I've gotten a little better at getting out the picture that I have in my head, which is nice. But, it's still not perfect. And it's gonna take a bit to get there, and I don't think it'll ever get there because I'm incredibly critical of myself and my work. Yeah, that one will work. But I'm super critical of myself, and I've kind of always been that way. I get real down on myself, which also sometimes makes it hard to practice drawing, just because when I mess something up, I beat the shit out of myself for no reason. But it's just one, I think that's like the first step, is just kind of letting go of that feeling of just like, well, this needs to be like the best thing I've ever drawn. Like, no, it really does not. Like, look what I'm making right now. Like, this shit doesn't even make any sense. What is this? Who cares? I have fun drawing these things. And I don't need to, fit these into some sort of style or anything. I can just do these. I can doodle these anytime I want. I don't have to think about it. If I want to, I can. If I want to get real stylistic with it, sure. But the only thing I want is these things to look similar enough. And it's kind of hard to not have them look similar when all of their eyes are the exact same. And this also might just be me dodging eyeballs because I'm terrible at drawing eyeballs. I don't know. It could be that. There's a good chance it's that. It's probably that. But yeah, so drawing is like the major thing that I want to make sure that I just carve out time for this year. Instead of the time I would spend on my Xbox, I want to spend that in my sketchbook or, streaming, provided, this keeps going well and I keep enjoying it and having fun and stuff. And, I have some stuff that I've discussed with some other people about, maybe doing like a YouTube podcast, 2-man sort of thing, or just I have a lot of ideas and I have trouble narrowing them down, and I think with just putting down the word drawing, it's nice and big and vague, and I don't need to just put down like drawing hands, drawing shapes in perspective, drawing dynamic poses, which these are all things that I could work on. Although I was just flipping through some old sketchbooks from like the past couple years, and I forgot that I did nothing but pose studies for like a month straight. There's like 50 pages in one of those sketchbooks of just poses. They're stick figure poses, but it's poses, and they all look pretty good. So I definitely want to start, doing that type of stuff again, where I'm sort of picking something and studying it, which goes back to the more like maker part of, being an artist, which, it's not all just drawing. It's like I don't know, a lot of things that you do with your hands I would consider art. And I've been making my own sketchbooks, which is great for, one, the satisfaction you get of making it. Two, the satisfaction you get when you make a small one and you just like fill it real fast. It feels really good. And what I like about it is you just can make a small one and then one trick pony it. Shout out to Kesh, Kesh. He's on here. Check him out. But just one trick pony your sketchbook and just make it, 10 pages and just draw hands for 10 pages. Just draw faces like mine. I think I left my bag upstairs, but I made a sketchbook that I should be drawing in, but I'm not because I'm stupid, and I treat every sketchbook, well, some sketchbooks, like an art book where it's like, this has to be the best thing I've ever done. But it's about yay big, but it's only, I don't know, 16, 20 pages, maybe. I don't even think it's that. Maybe like 14. It's not big at all, but I'm just doing face studies. There's an Instagram account called Earth's World, and it's just this dude who takes like candid shots of people at state fairs and stuff. And not only are the pictures really like nice and high res, but he finds some of the most interesting looking humans this Earth has to offer, and it's fun. It's fun drawing them. It's not like Pinterest where you go and, you know, type in face or reference face or something along those lines, and it's like you just get a bunch of pictures of actual models, and it's like, okay, cool, great, that's lovely, good for them. I want to see weird people. I want to see, let's see, do I have any? I gotta have, yeah, so like this, and then that guy, and that, like that lady, that lady. It's a nice mix of men, women, hairstyles, hair colors, glasses, no glasses. It's crazy, and it's cool because it's, you just sort of scroll until you find someone that you feel like drawing, and it's nice. It's a cool, good account, especially if you're looking to do face studies. That would definitely be the account that I recommend the most. So yeah, drawing is number one. Number two, I have been working on developing a card game, sort of, for, I don't know, it's been a minute, probably like a year now, and well, no, it's been a little over that, and I want to really just kind of hash it out this coming year. I want to really iron out the mechanics. I want to iron out the rules. Like, initially when I had the idea for it, it was more of, I just want like a project to work on, and that's a pretty big project. It's a solid undertaking for sure. At least it has been for me. I'm sure it's probably easier for some, but actually I don't know if it is. I'm not actually totally sure that's accurate. And I sort of fell off of it when I fell away from drawing. I mean, as to be expected, I guess. I'm not going to suddenly start designing a bunch of artwork for a game when I don't really even feel like drawing in the first place. So that one sort of fell by the wayside. Not completely. I sort of like, I would see it regularly. I made like a little deck box out of duct tape for it, and it sits in there. But yeah, I just sort of broke it out, and I've just been messing around with it, and I'm excited again about it, and I think that's now just sort of my bar for the project is if I'm excited by it, I'm just gonna kind of like get after it. But it's got to be something that isn't going to take away from the rest of my spoons, which spoon theory is something that I've become recently accustomed to. And essentially, spoon theory is a notion that every day you wake up, you have a certain number of spoons. And it's like, okay, go to work. That's like, so let's say you wake up and you got 25 spoons. It's like, go to work. That's 3 spoons. But then it's like, okay, so that's not that bad. But then you have make your lunch. That's a spoon. Start your car. That's another spoon. Brush your car off. That's another spoon. And then it's like, by the time you get home, it's like, man, I want to make art or something. And then you realize that all of the spoons that you could have used for art, you had to use for going to the grocery store after work, and some asshole hit your car with a cart, or some asshole didn't put their cart away, or something like that. And it's about really finding the time and readjusting where you spend your time. And I think that my Xbox will have a much better life, you know, somewhere else, and, you know, getting actually used instead of just sitting next to my smart TV. Because for a while there, I was basically just using the Xbox to watch YouTube, and it's a smart TV, so very much don't need Xbox for that. And it goes back to what I was just saying about where I want to spend my spoons. If I wanted to spend any spoons on my Xbox, I would, and I don't, which just to me shows that I have sort of, I don't want to say outgrown video games, because I haven't, but I'm not a gamer anymore. I'm just a dude who like sort of plays video games every now and again, and I mean, I'm fine with it. Like, me and my kid will play Fall Guys, and like that shit's fun. I'm a fan of that. Plus, I'm kind of a sweat at that game. But my time would much rather be spent here doing this, you know, or fucking reading, or just something, because I don't know. So it's just, it's getting up in the morning, and shit is hard sometimes, and just having like little things to look forward to, like just doing a little art stream and stuff, or the card game, going back to that. It's like, it's a project that when I think about it, I get really excited. And then I think about how much work I have in front of me regarding the project, and I still feel excited after that, which is nice. And yeah, I don't know. I'm glad to be back with the card game idea. It's gonna take a bit, because like I said, I told myself that I'm knocking out the game first before I knock out the artwork, because also, standard card game fashion, I don't think I would do all the artwork. I think I would talk to some of my art homies and have them have them make some stuff up. You know, because I do. It's not to say that I don't like my work. I do like my work, especially when I really like hone in on something. If I need to make something look good, I can. If I need to make something look like this, I'm gonna. And the card game, I'm just excited to make something and make something I've never made. I've never made a card game, and I think it'd be a cool experience to just, you know, make it, maybe print a few and sell them, and then when I get tired of selling them, just give them away as presents and stuff. I like giving away stuff tangibly, as much as I would love to give everybody the electronic, you know, like give people e-gift cards for fucking sandwiches. As much as I would love that, I don't. I would much rather just kind of give everybody like drawings and stuff. Nah, that one's not gonna work. Which is fine. I don't need to fill like every inch of available space. I am glad it's starting to fill up though. It looks kind of cool. All right, so we're gonna slap one more big guy in this area, and then after that, we will switch up. There we go. That'll work. A little bit closer. Almost forgot the nose. Can't be doing that. So what else do we got? Okay, so yeah, third on the list after. So we got drawing, we got the card game, which again, very excited about. Just need to sort of hash out how the game is gonna work fully. Because I feel like that's step one. If I don't have a playable game, then I just have a collection of artwork, which is neat. I love collections of artwork. I hate wasted work, so. This one. So yeah, number 3 on the list is just making a real push to stream here more. Stream on YouTube more, because since I've been making stuff online, the main like goal I've had is to cultivate a decent YouTube community / following. And I keep getting distracted by like the shiny new thing, or the big toy, and the big toy being Twitch, and I mentioned it earlier with Kick. I did all right on Kick, I will say. You know, as like a new community, it was easy to kind of not stand out, but sort of get featured, because it was sort of a niche community of people that I think felt not rejected by Twitch, but just sort of like drowned, like me. Because again, it's about discoverability, and when you go on Twitch, like I haven't been on Twitch in a long time. I don't watch a ton of streamers. I watch a few, but honestly, I really just watch like my friends when they stream, like them playing Xbox or stuff like that. Oh man, forgive me. I did have a busy day at work, even though I didn't really do much. I'm a bit sleepy. Oh goodness. But I would always get distracted by the new shiny website, and then I would get discouraged, as I always did. And then next thing we know, no more streaming. No more streaming, and then I stopped sort of making stuff for a while. And then I come back, and then I get annoyed because it's like, well, if I had not taken a break, blah, blah, blah. So instead of just, you know, I'm just going to try to avoid that whole thing and just I'm just going to do 1 day a week. I'm going to try to stick to the same night. So it's looking like Tuesday nights are going to be the night of the stream, which is perfectly okay with me. You know, I might have to work a little bit of the schedule around the holidays, depending on what's going to happen there. But, yeah, I'm not looking to, like, make this a career this time. Again, I fell into that trap that I sort of knew was there, and I saw it the entire time, and I just, not to be like a cliche factory, but you know, like a moth to a flame, I was just like, yay, and then it just it exploded. And I think the problem is I take things sometimes like way too seriously, way too quickly. You know, it's like I'll stream once or twice and then be like, oh shit, alright, well I need to get a stream deck, I need to start buying overlays, I need to start doing this, that, and the other thing. And it's like, before I know it, I've got a bunch of gathered resources and absolutely nothing to do with them because I don't know what to do with them or how to do with them. And yeah, don't fall into that trap, because it's an easy trap to fall into. And I think it's just going back to the original point of this. It's find your spot and just sort of stick there. I've been bouncing from platform to platform to platform, and I've been sort of bouncing from thing to thing to thing on this channel, and I think I just need to sort of stick with the whole like creativity and analog lifestyle and just that sort of thing, instead of trying to, you know, just sort of bounce from thing to thing to thing, because I don't want to make multiple channels. That's the thing that I see a lot on here, is it's like, obviously as humans we have multiple interests and hobbies and stuff. Like, I think it would be cool to research just some stuff in history I don't know like a ton about, and sort of fill in the blanks and stuff like that, and make a little video about it. But I'm not about to suddenly start making history content. Oh god, I'm not gonna make history videos. And as much, as cool as that would be, and as interesting as history is to me, I just don't think that YouTube would love that. I'm just like, hey, by the way, I'm actually a history channel now. Oh, are ya? Look at you, bud. Guess we're gonna have to reset all of our analytics we have on you. And not to be a slave to analytics either. I'm not trying to treat YouTube as my only opportunity for a job, but if it did become something viable, then it is something that, would happen. Yay. Nifty. And if not, gives a shit. Who give a shit? Alright, I know I keep saying I'm going to draw one more and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to draw one more and I'm going to stop. This might be the last one. I don't know. I'm having fun here. Just filling in this like one area. I wish there was some football. My team beat that ass last night. Yeah, this one up here is super weird, which I appreciate. Got our first taste of actual snow today, which is cool. I'm fine with it. I know where I live. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, we have fucking snow. Like, it's December. What I don't love is that it just rained all day afterwards, and now it's just like a skating rink outside. I don't know what my neighbor's doing, but it's annoying. But he's annoying all the time, so this is not news. But I do want to stream more this year. I want to stream just art, and I know I mentioned it earlier about making sketchbooks, but I want to have a stream where folks can maybe even follow along and make their own sketchbook. I didn't read my Snapple fact. Porcupines can have over 30,000 quills. Fucking great, dude. Cool. But yeah, have something where people can follow along and I show people how to make their own sketchbooks. Because it just, I don't know, seems like a good skill to have. Because, at the end of the day, it's bookbinding is it's like novice level bookbinding, but the fun part is, you know, the creativity factor afterwards of, you know, sketchbooks are a playground, and they're meant to be bashed up and smashed up and screwed with. And as much as I would love to cherish my sketchbook, like, I have a sketchbook in my cupboard, my blue one. I left that shit at Fenway Park. Like, luckily my aunt's friend was at the game and stayed after we left. But yeah, like, that shit almost got completely left behind on the other side of Massachusetts. And it would have sucked, because I at that point I was 80% of the way through the sketchbook. And it would have been a huge, you know, gut punch to lose that sketchbook. But at the end of the day, it's just a, you know, it's some paper, dude. Like, you're allowed to make a mess with it and, you know, screw it up. That's the point of it. Sketchbook is where you learn things. Even a lot of my drawings, it's like a lot of the stuff you're gonna see me do on here is probably digitizing sketches that I do at work that I really like, or just stuff like that, because I prefer to work pen to paper. Pencil is fun too. I love my iPad. I do. It's great. It's nifty. And it affords me the opportunity to make, you know, shit like this, which is fun. But at the end of the day, if I sat down and doodled out, you know, an entire sheet of paper with these, I would probably feel a little more accomplished than I'm gonna when this is inevitably done at some point. But that's really, yeah, so streaming art and, like, crafting, like, I'm trying to think of, like, some other cool things I could show you guys, but I think I'm just gonna stick to the one day a week for now. But that can obviously change depending on if people are enjoying the stream, you know, particularly, or, you know, if people want me to be more in depth with showing them something. Like, if you have a question that I might be able to answer that's art related, fire it at me. And if I don't, I'm not gonna make up something and lie. If anything, I'll research it and we can learn together. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, I'm an art teacher. Like, I'm not. I'm a guy who's drawing weird, shaky faces, and that's my night so far. But all right, so I think I'm gonna move on to yeah, I'll lay off these for at least now. I might get back to these off camera later. Because I think tonight I'm gonna stream probably till about 10:30-ish. I know I went a little later last time. I don't know. I'm absolutely destroyed from work today. I drank that tea in hopes that it would pep me up, and if it does, then, you know, we'll push past 10:30. But I do have work in the morning as well. So the struggles of trying to do something when having other things to do. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Wah, what was me?" I have a job. Other people have jobs. It is what it is. Okay, so let's move to this other thing. So I need to... So the other day I was... it must have been yesterday at work. So yeah, yesterday at work, I was just like having a moment and just kind of like in my head, just sort of thinking about stuff. And I was thinking at one point about how when I was in school, I used to draw these I used to draw these big sort of, what's the word? Like, I guess like battle scenes, and I completely forgot about it until yesterday when I was listening to this podcast called How to Draw Without Dying, and I've been just like binging the show, and it's decent. Check it out if you're looking for, if you're an artist and you're looking for something to kind of help with how, I don't know, it's just sort of show you that we're not alone in this. And yeah, I don't know, they were talking about one of their old projects, and at one point one of the guys, said something along the lines of like, you remember when you were in school and you would just draw those big fight scenes with all the dragons and stuff? And I was like, oh shit, yeah, I do. Oh shit, whoa. And it's been it was like a fun realization, just like, oh shit, cool, yeah, no, it's been a minute. So what I want to do is now I want to, I'm just gonna use ink bleed, I really don't care. Like once a month, what I want to do during the stream is I want to redo one of those. But what we're gonna do, I already wrote down in my little notebook here. So we're gonna design 6 units. We're just gonna make like a race of good guys and a race of bad guys, and I'm just gonna make 6 units, sort of just on like a StarCraft, Warcraft type shit. And yeah, I'm just gonna draw like I used to when I was in like middle school and Catholic school. Catholic school survivor. And my butt. But I thought it would be fun to on the nights that we do that, sort of, I want to make sort of just the outline of like a desk. Just kind of give the illusion like we're back in school. So yeah, that's what I want to do now. I'm just gonna kind of lay that out, and then we can decorate the desk with like cool edgy high school sayings. Man, I gotta say, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on an old desk. Nothing cracked my back quite like the desk in high school. Alright, that's the winner. Yeah, because if you sat in it, and then you kind of like set the backrest like right in the middle of your back, and then you just pushed on the desk, man, you could get the whole spine to just like decompress in one shot. And man, it was awesome. You know, after that 4-day weekend, I learned something that I fucking love 4-day weekends, and I wish they were mandatory all the time. And I'm like, well, that would just be the weekend. Yup. And I just made the weekend even cooler. You guys are all welcome. And when I become king of this country, because, you know, that's a thing you can do now, I'm gonna make the weekend 5 days. Ooh, while I'm thinking of it, I think that would be fun. If... Bring the opacity up back to full. I'm gonna shut this shit off, but if I take this and I turn up the brightness a little bit on it, give it that sort of washed out, way too many fluorescent lights overhead look. I still need to be able to see the shit. My nose is super duper itchy and I wish that it wasn't super duper itchy and I wish that... Yo, our Buffalo Wild Wings opens in like a week. Poo poo pee pee. And I know, like, oh, you shouldn't be erasing your sketch. Shut up. I work better when my shit ain't cluttered, yo. So, okay. I like this. I like this. I think I need to give this sort of like roundness. I guess we could just do that. Boom, 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 boom. hair in my eyeball. There's a hair in my eyeball. There's... You got eggnog in my goat milk. Oh. You know what? Don't mind me just casually choking and dying. So I think if I add a little bit... Oh, yeah, okay. Ma. That's a weird ass movie. I don't know if anybody's seen Ma with what's her name? Fucking. I'm not good with actor names. She's the lady from The Help and a bunch of other stuff. I feel like she's been in a bajillion things and I can't remember her name. But it was a weird movie. It was fine. It was definitely a weird one. But I will say, I just saw The Happening for the first time. And man, that part with the old lady just being like, gonna murder me in my sleep. And then Mark Wahlberg with arguably the most phoned in line read of all time goes, and I quote, "What? No!" to, "You're going to murder me." Responds with, "What? No!" And if you think I'm joking, you're on YouTube already. Go to the search bar, just type in Mark Wahlberg. And then, honestly, the letter W might just autocorrect to what no. And then just watch it. Somebody uploaded like a 17-second clip. And it's awesome. It's the stupidest thing on earth, but it's awesome. Like, I love it. Just Mark Wahlberg straight up just said, I am not interested in doing a good job. And that's an M. Night movie, too. So it's like, bro, probably, you know, made off kind of handsomely on that movie. I feel like if you're in an M. Night movie, you're getting at least taken care of. Alright, well, that's like a cool enough, well, not cool enough, but it's a good enough desk outline for me. I say as I immediately start changing it. Alright, looking good. Alright, so now I just need like some stuff to put on the desk. Like, obviously, you know, honestly, this stupid letter might have actually like started my fondness for drawing. At least at like a school level. Well, and also, We want, we want. It's fucking cold in the basement. I wish it wasn't so cold in the basement. That's not that bad. Alright, so we got a couple of the standards. I mean, trying to think of what else to slap on here. For taking as long as this light does to charge, it does not last nearly as long as I feel like it should. Alright. Sure, let's do that one. I think the nose needs to be, yeah. That's definitely better. Yeah. Head. That'll work. Zet wil werk. Squidward. I need something to drink. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be right back. Does anybody need anything? Just kidding. You're not here. Don't act like you are. Man, I'm down to like the last of my seltzers, and it's just this like pomelo shit. Just, not for me, dude. um. Ouch. All right. I don't love the. Well. Actually, you know what? That placement might work. This is another thing you can't do with a sketchbook. Alright, I think this will be okay. So now no. Damn it. 45 minutes on the fucking perfect line, and I hate it. God damn it. Oop. That was a horrible job. Maybe let's try this. Alright, that was okay. I'll live with it. We'll live with it. Cut it off. Couple stylistic choices to be made coming up, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. We're gonna cross it. We're gonna cross it. We're gonna. Nope. I think tomorrow is the day that I order my Drake May jersey. Fuck yeah. Yo, I hate this. It's fine, I just need to match the fucking line weight, which, ugh. Alright. Yep, that's the one. Yeah. I'm not trying to overthink it. So, that will work. So now, yeah, that looks about the shade of. So I'm gonna need to go over this with some sort of like grain or something, because the desks at my school were like this color, but they had this like, I don't know. I'm gonna need to go with like a, just like a darker shade of this. The flesh paddle. Well, if you've been here and you've been hanging out, I appreciate it. I know there is a bunch of other things and places people could be on their Tuesday evenings at, what time is it? Yay, it's after 10 o'clock, look at that. Let's just look at it. I need to watch that video, that fucking guy with the car. Alright, so that'll work, but I'm gonna stick with that color. Now we're gonna alpha lock this shit. Now, I feel like this is gonna be difficult to find, but maybe not. Ow. Burnt tree. Alright. That's weird. The relaxed movement. I feel like those things are... What the fuck is this? Really? It's just that size? That's sucky. Zati suck. What about you? Are you gonna suck too? Yup. You suck, kid. You suck bad. Shit. Let's try this one. Oh, that just looks absolutely fucking ridiculous. Like, bro, what was that? Alright, I need to find something that's gonna work here. It's like really small. Boo, boo, boobity, boo, bitch. Boo, boobity, boo. Sorry, it's kind of boring. I'm trying to find a texture brush to get me the look that I want. Do 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 do. think I'm just gonna have to make one of these work. Which is what it is. So I guess what we can do. And then, nope. God damn it. Probably would have helped to do that. So, that shit don't matter. Doodly doo. There we go. So now this should work. Yeah. That's the fucking look I was going for. Perfect. Kerblamo. You bitch. Okay. Now, do I do... Wish I had like a ballpoint pen. Let's try to find like a ballpoint pen blue. I don't know if I can draw that. I don't have a ballpoint pen one, but... Oh, wait. Let's check the new one, because I haven't really funked around with this. Is any of this going to be what I'm looking for? God, there's gouache in here. Holy shit. They added a lot. Look at them go. Sorry, now I'm just getting distracted by all this freaking nonsense. Huh. These are gonna be nifty. Ooh, watercolors. Can I do watercolor in here? No shit. Maybe we'll do watercolor some night. Black Swan. Hell yeah. If you know, you know. Cool. Alright, well, I'm gonna use this one, I guess. No. What about you? Minky? No. I don't know. This is kind of wonky. Yeah, I guess it'll work though. Just gotta shrink this freaking pen tip, unless I can't. No. loser. Down, bound. Squidward. It's okay. Really don't need to overthink this. Oop. No, you come back. Am I? Okay, whatever. Guess I'm just kidding. Yeah, we're cool, edgy and cool, and your mom, her mom, her mom. Should I do one of these in red pen? Or should I just do black ink and... Nah, you know what? I'm gonna do... Bum 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 poop. I'm looking forward to like making these units for this for these battles. So I remember some of these being like crazy, dude. Like I remember, yeah, I remember I would draw them on like your standard, like, you know, 8.5 by 11, and then I remember I got like a sketch pad, and man, I was like off to the races. And mind you, these are gonna be basically just reworked drawings of mine from when I was a kid. I don't want to put a lot of effort into these drawings. I genuinely just want to come up with like a scene that sounds cool, like a battle, not even a scene. And yeah, you know, even we as like a group can put together the battle sort of thing. And then we also have to design the races, the units, the surrounding lore if we want. Heck yeah. I went to school. No. And then cool. So now what we'll do is alright, so oof, freaking leg is why he's so itchy. I mean, I guess I'll just do it like this. Ugh. Wanna. All right. Kind of like this. Alright, that works. Because, yeah, we could just start it like this. Honestly, we just start it like this. Alright. Fucking blammo. Let's do this. And then, yeah, the type of stuff that I would draw would be... Oh, Jesus. Yes, ink bleed. So, usually they would start with... And this is just going to be real quick. I'm not going to go into any detail. But usually it would start with some sort of like fortification. And then usually there was like some form of towers. They don't have shit like that around them. It'd be like and then yeah, but it would just, you know, we'll put some thought into these ones, but you know, I want to go as straight up old school notebook as I can go. Just like, oh snap, they got a drawbridge. And it's like, oh man, they got like, you know, find a way to make them stand out. And then, like, you know, I mean, obviously don't make a tangent right off the jump, but I'm trying to think, 'cause it's been a long... I remember I used to have this race of like winged knights. I don't totally remember. It's been a very long time, and it's going to take a little bit to fully re-jog the memory, but, you know, once a month we'll just do something simple like this, and then, you know, maybe at the end just do something silly and, like, you know, really ink it out, and then add, you know, maybe some color or something. But yeah, this is like old school how I learned to draw things. Yeah, I used to draw, like, there used to be so much going on in these scenes. You know, I would draw hundreds of guys, and maybe not hundreds, but I would draw like 80, probably like 80 characters just doing crazy shit, and it was awesome. It was, you know, it was a lot of fun. I just, I stopped doing it, and that's, you know, that's kind of my move. Just little things like that. All right. I mean, I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with like the desk. Like this is basically what I had in my head for this, was just this sort of background. Alright. Well, I think, what is it? It's 10:35, so we've already made it past what I said. So, I think what we'll do is, hold on. I'm gonna... Where the hell? Okay, whatever. Alright, let's do... I want to fill in like this area. So however many it'll take to do that, let's do that. You know, why the hell not? Oh, God. Oh, I'm going to try to get a little bit more comfortable, though. Pew, pew, pew. Pew, pew. Yo, yo, yo. I got a kind of pee mofo. Probably from all the iced tea. Oh, my cramp, fuck. Oh, this one's brutal. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Ow. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. I don't want to hear shit about you need to drink more water. I drink so much fucking water. Oh, God. Whew. That one sucked. Oh. Alright. Yowza. Holy cow. That was crazy. My God. That was... Oh. Oh, it was like my whole fucking hamstring just locked up. Oh, God, that was brutal. Whew, alright. Well, that was something. Jeez. Could have gone without that. The fuck? Oh, that hurt. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Oh, jeez. I love how I'm like, yo, I'm gonna get comfortable. And then my leg's like, bitch, what? What did you just say to me? Boom, 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 boom. Poop. Oh, okay. I finally feel the muscle like completely relax now. Now that it's fucking dead. Man. It's like I don't realize the heater's off, and then when it kicks back on, it just like it reminds me how loud it is. I'm gonna look something up. I think this will be. Is he live right now? Oh, shit. Okay, well, I'll go do that after then. Alright. My spine is broken. My spine is broken. I'm still not over that leg cramp. That was some absolute just brouhaha. Like that was insane, dude. And now my knee is bothering me because I like fucking overextended trying to get my leg to just like ease off. Good lord, man. It's fun being in your 30s because everything is just like extra supremely crunchy, and it doesn't get less crunchy. Boom, 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 boom. So what's everybody getting up to this time of year? I know it's Christmas season, and I know it's not just Christmas season, it's other holiday seasons. I'm just not very aware of the seasons, and I don't want to just say some shit. But I'm excited. Haven't had like adult full-time money is what I'm trying to say. It's been a long time since I've been a full-time employee, and I'm glad to be back. It's you know, it's something that I wasn't totally sure was like ever gonna happen, or I wasn't sure like when it was gonna happen. I knew I was gonna go back to like the workforce full time. I just didn't know at what capacity. And yeah, I'm glad, because it sort of funds all my other nonsense, which by nonsense I mean this shit. So I would call that a win, my friends. I'm just staying up until fucking whenever, dude. I don't care. I don't give a shit at all. down. Oh shit! I gotta go into work early on Thursday. Rip. Doody doo doo doo. Pooty poop poop poop, motherfucker. Damn hand. Oh, man. Yeah. Definitely thinking that if tomorrow is going to be, or today is going to be any sort of inclination of how tomorrow and this week and the rest of this month are going to go at work, I am absolutely doomed. Definitely seeing some shorter days in my future. That's for sure. What is this? Yeah, cool. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care about that shit at all. Swag. CEO of Red Lobster. Shout out to that dude for like saving Red Lobster, cause fucking Endless Shrimp almost just shut their whole ass company down. But I've never actually been to a Red Lobster. It is not a there's not one around me. Well, kinda. How far are you willing to drive for a restaurant? Like, I think there's a lot of circumstances. That's like sort of a loaded question, I guess. But let's just say you're just like, damn, I'm hungry. And you've got like a little extra spending money. Are you taking the drive and going somewhere exotic and fun? Or are you just going to your local and just beating the shit out of it? I hope I'm able to upload this and not get a fucking, well, not a strike, but I got an email after the last stream, and they were like, yeah, you used a bunch of like copyrighted songs, and it's like, bro, I know. What the fuck? I'm not getting paid for any of this. So there's not really much to copyright claim. Alright. Let's do one more big old weird guy in here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm gonna shit my butt off. Oh man, I am sleepy. Yeah, this is definitely gonna be the last face for the night. But look at, we filled in a good amount of space. By the new year, we'll have a fucking phone wallpaper. Hell yeah. Ba-bum, ba-bum. Furnace. I feel like I want a snack, but I have no idea what. And I know, like, I probably don't need a snack. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I don't want one. But I want something weird. Not like weird, but like, not just some shit I always have. You know what I want right now? I want a damn Toblerone. Or like a Choco Taco. I can't believe we let them stop making those. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. How did we as a nation lose the Choco Taco? Like, what the hell were we thinking? Like, for shame, everybody. For shame. Boom, 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 boom. Wake up in the morning feeling like nope. Man, I love how often 50 Cent is right about motherfuckers being weird. Like, 50 picks fights with people, and then he's like always vindicated when the person ends up being a fucking P. Diddy. Or they end up just being illiterate, but you know. What are you gonna do? Alright. Last face for the night. Not bad though. Not bad. What are we at? We gotta be close to like, what, 2.5 hours? Yeah, we're coming right up on 2.5 hours. You know? Not bad, not bad, not bad. So I think tentatively we'll set Tuesday as the streaming day for now. You know, there may be some more sort of speckled throughout. Just with the holidays being here, work's gonna be weird. And you know, with all like the short weeks and everything, there's gonna be some days where I just don't really have anything to do, and I might just fire up the camera on the iPad and just doodle. You know, try to finish this thing. But you know, we made some solid progress tonight. I mean, we did like basically this whole section, and I'm also now realizing that I did these ones in a different color. Right? Didn't really notice that till now. That's... Yep, no, that's definitely like a reddish black. That's fucking... Ugh, okay. Let's try to fix this before we call it. Alright, yeah, so I know how I'm gonna do... Well, maybe. I have an idea of how I can fix this. So we're gonna copy and paste these, and then... You fudgers. Just gonna get all the brightness sucked out of you, and then just merge that back down, and there we fucking go. Handled. Surprised I didn't notice that. I think it's because the iPad lays flat and I kind of need it to be like this. Maybe I'll get like a table stand. I don't know. But we got a lot done tonight, I would say. I mean, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 plus that other thing. We do need to get back to work on this guy at some point, just so I can be done with it. You know what? I'm actually done with it. Yeah, I'm done with it. I'm good. I'm all set. Maybe I'll throw that up on like the Patreon as like a download. You can print it out, color it. I don't know. If that's something you would be interested in, let me know. Also, I'm trying to do like some sort of push for the Patreon to get some sign-ups and stuff. It is free. You can sign up to $5. But should you choose, you know, that's fully your call. But you can just sign up for free. I do a newsletter. It used to be weekly. I should probably get back into it because it takes practically nothing to do. But I just get distracted by a million other things. So, but there is a lot of cool stuff on the Patreon. I have some ideas for some stuff. But I definitely want to do this more. Drawing's fun. Art's cool. Arts and crafts are cool. Don't let people tell you otherwise. But I think that's it for tonight. Thank you everybody for even just stopping by just for a minute. If you hung around until the end, you know, the whole time, awesome. Thank you very much. I much appreciate you. Yeah, let's stick with Tuesdays for now. Like I said, with the holidays, there's room for more streams for sure. of varying lengths. You know, some might be like if it wasn't 11 o'clock right now, I would just keep going. Um, like I would love to do like a Friday night stream where I stream until fucking 2 a.m. Um, we'll figure all these out. I've got some long weekends coming up, so maybe we'll do like I don't know, like day after Christmas. You know, we'll do like an extra long stream where we'll all hang out and talk about all the cool stuff we got and gave people for Christmas. So I've got my wife some pretty cool stuff this year, and I want to talk about it, but obviously I can't right now. So, but all right, well, cool. Thank you guys so much for stopping in. I love you all very much. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. I hope you eat an entire pizza. And I hope you find $100 on the ground. Yeah. Peace out, guys.